Hi, Kit with you, Flower Duet. Going to show you a quick and simple dozen roses in a small vase. So not a grand dozen roses, but a dozen roses nonetheless on a smaller scale. So you can use shorter roses that don't cost as much, but still it's a dozen roses. So what you want to do is you want to start with some greenery, and this is the classic Leather Fern. And what we want to do is you want to make sure there's nothing below the water line, and you're going to come so that the greenery just hits that top part of the lip of the vase, and we're going to cross over. So I'm going to go around like in a fashion, clockwork, like clockwork. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm cutting and placing. Remember, stem seal up in 10 seconds. That one's broken. This one's a little bit long. Take some of that off. Just going around so I have a spiral inside the vase. So now I have a really pretty looking greenery setting. And what this has done is it's created a nice set of underwater and overwater architecture for my roses. So now let's start putting in some roses. So now we're ready to start adding roses. And you want to look at them and see which ones are more open, and those are going to be your first layer. And so we're going to build this like a wedding cake. So the lowest layer is going to come about double the height of the vase. And again, you want to look around and see which roses you have that are the most open, because the largest roses should be the lower part of your design. So the way we always talk about it in class is low, large, tall, small. So low roses are the large roses. And we're building this like a wedding cake. So we're building the lowest layer first. In a wedding cake, you wouldn't put the top layer on first because it would fall down. So I'm going to do my first layer is my bottom layer, and I'm doing 6. So basically, the bottom layer is half the roses. Half a dozen roses is your bottom layer. We don't want any of the leaves that are on the stem below the water line, and we don't want any thorns either. So you take all those thorns off too. Okay, so these should all be about the same height. If they're like a little bit up and down, that's fine. I'll take this one out, put it a little bit more sideways. There we go. So that's our first layer of our cake or our dozen roses. Then we want to take the next set of roses that are open too, but not as open as that first one. We want to cut them a little bit longer. And how you can figure out how tall is you can hold it on the table next to the vase, and then you can gauge the height. And you always cut at an angle so that the stem gets as much water that it can get in the design. So we're going to hold it. That's too tall. So bring it down. We want it to match that other one we just put in. So for this one, we're going to do 4 at this level. So I'm looking for another one that's kind of on the big side or more open. Measure on the table. Measure on the table. That one looks good. You want to take the thorns off so that you don't hurt the other stems that are in your vase, and that if you put it in a place you don't like, and when you pull it out, it's not going to pull all your other roses out with you. With it, I mean. So we have, let's see, I said 4. I think I want to do 5 at this level because I'm going to have 1 at the end. I can count. Can you count? Counting along with me? A dozen roses is 12, so we need to make sure we do 6, then 5, and then 1. All right, so now we have 1 left. So we have to keep this one nice and tall, straight in the middle. Take off any of those cushion petals that may be ripped. That one was ripped, so that's obviously too tall. Bring it down, too tall, bring it down. Almost there. Let's try this one. It's a little too tall in my opinion. I'm going to bring it down just a teeny bit more and bring it right down in the middle. And because all those other stems are there, it's going to stay right in line where it should. And then I can zhuzh a little bit of the greenery around if I need to, or I can add a little bit of greenery in to fill it in. But there you have it. Simple dozen roses in a vase.